I'm going to be talking about the I'm going to say this wrong because I forgot to go listen to the stream where they pronounce all the names. So for TDD, I'm just saying that because I'm going to butcher it if I try to say the name. But we're going to be talking about that realm and the races that fill their ranks tonight. This is the realm that I'm least likely to play in the game. There's some interesting characters, but they don't draw me as much as some of the other realms. Again, I won't know for sure until the game is actually released or I get an option to, or I actually play all of the races properly. But for now, it's kind of the least interesting one to me. But, again, they still have a lot of interesting character options. The TDD are usually considered to be tree huggers and are sometimes, from what I've been seeing, called hippies, at least out of character. This is not true. While they do revere the forest and the creatures that live within it, they do not quite match what others expect of them. The TDD are a proud and noble realm, and they are intent on overcoming any challenges that they may face and becoming wiser or stronger because of them. The Banshee is a great example of that. They see death as part of the cycle, but that doesn't mean that they'll let that stop them from fighting alongside their brethren within the realm to keep them safe. There are a lot of surprises within the forest, and they don't quite match what the rest of the world here would expect to see. Well, Sornin, again, I'm very unlikely to play them. They have some interesting races, but Arthurian is most likely what I'm going to play. Right, so for the realm itself, I believe that it will draw a lot of people that tend to like elven type culture. Now, while there really aren't any elves in this game, and it's kind of a twist on the culture, there's enough of the element there that I really think it's going to draw them. I would almost lean towards them for that fact myself. I mean, I do enjoy playing the pointy-eared ones, after all. But my hopes for the roleplay in this realm is that while they lean towards traditional RP for elven type culture, they also take the difference into the account. They are harsher than many of the races are portrayed, and I hope that they're RP'd that way. I really do. Now, I'm going to start with the race for which the realm is named. Not all elves are herbivores. Oh, nice. So the Tuatha, and I'm sure I just said that wrong, but I forgot to go listen to that video, so I'll probably re-record this for YouTube so that I say all the stuff right. But they are humans that have been transformed into a race that is both bigger and stronger than their counterparts. They are a representation of the primeval forest itself. They are directly descended from their leader, but they try not to brag about it too much, at least. They are warriors that that are tied to their forests so much that they draw both strength and weakness from it. This means that they suffer more greatly in certain seasons when the forest is not as strong and alive as it is in others. They also hate natural fire and will not work with it. So if If I were to play one of the Tuatha, um, I know I would certainly take how the seasons affect them into account. And by the way, if any of you have any idea on how you would play a character in this realm, I would love to hear it. I meant to say that at the beginning, but I forgot. Sornin, I hope they do. But both them and uh, the Sturm, or however it's said, both of them are portrayed without clothing, so. Oh gosh. So, if I were to play one of the Tuatha, I would certainly take the seasons into account. And I'd roleplay them accordingly to whatever season it was. I would also dig through older lore about elves, looking for the ones that have a more grim feel to them, and try to incorporate some of those aspects into how this character is played. I wouldn't go for a sunshiny character myself, though there are always exceptions to the rule, and I imagine that there will be plenty of people that do play that sort of character. You know, people who actually are tree huggers within the realm. I would want the character I play to be darker, though, as befits most of the lore in the game. The Silver Hands are next up. While the Storm Riders of the Arthurians may have made a sacrifice of their own, it does not even begin to compare to what this race has to do. They are Tuatha that have given up their right arm as a sign of how dedicated they are to their realm. Once they reach the appropriate age, they must undergo a procedure that will replace their right arm with a silver one. No one can say for certain if it's just been covered with silver or if it's actually been transformed completely into silver. But the arm does work. They sort of have mixed views on the depths a bit. Some of them want to destroy the place completely, while others are determined to find the final resting place of Tuatha. I probably just said that wrong. Now, they are fantastic in melee because of their arm, but those skills don't transfer into other aspects. They are not good at mining or other things. They also don't really have a sense of humor when it comes to the arm, so be wary when you make jokes about that. This one is a bit tougher for me. I imagine that they would be played similarly to the Tuatha, but perhaps be a bit more stoic in nature considering what they've put themselves through. They may even have a dry sense of humor overall. Honestly, Gino? Sorry, my son's playing on the tablet next to me. But, honestly, I could even see a couple of them making jokes about it if they have a dark sense of humor about the arm itself. I really don't see a need overall to play them that much differently than their Tuatha brethren. Though that view may change a little bit if I were to play the TDD and I chose this race. My idea on that could change. Alright, so here, I'm going to try to say this wrong. Maybe I can get some help with the pronunciation, with the phonetic spelling of it. I can hope. But if not, I'm just gonna go on and butcher it. Oh, so it's how I was pretty much gonna say it. So, Hamadryad. Awesome. That's good to know. So thank you so much for that. Oh, there's Strim. That's good to know, Sworn because I didn't know and I was saying it wrong. So thank you. So next up is the Hamadryad. This is one of the oddest races in this world, appearance-wise. And they're a matriarchal society like the Strim. They also they're kind of jack of all trades, suited to pretty much any career. They are not the strongest or the most magically inclined, but they do have a really versatile tail, and that makes them a great companion to have, whatever you end up doing. They are also infused with magic from the forest, and they will protect the forest and great oaks at the heart of them. Though it doesn't say this in the little blurb about them, some of the concept art for this race does feature wings, so I'm not sure if it's been decided if they will have them or not, but the overall idea for the race is pretty awesome, so I hope that some of them do. I'm not sure if they'll be capable of gliding or anything like that, but they would look cool, and that's enough for me. But the concept art for this race kind of makes me think of the fairies that, as they first appear in Pan's Labyrinth, being insect-like. And I know I'm comparing them to fairies, but they don't quite match up with that either. Their insect-like appearance does give them a very unique look, and if I were to roleplay one of these, I think I would go with something that is reclusive, perhaps prefers the company of the forest or the creatures within it to the civilized world. She'd likely be wary of strangers and slow to befriend anyone, but that's just what comes off the top of my head. That view could change later on down the road. I forgot I set up MooBot. Is it said like it's spelled? Trying to get another pronunciation here because I'm trying to butcher as few of these as I can. And yeah, I think I'm definitely going to be re-recording this for YouTube. Okay, well, not really got input for that yet, so I'm just going to go on ahead. I think it's Lucorpan. I hope that's right. They are small tricksters and have a mastery of illusion and misdirection. They have long fingers that are naturally suited to crafting, and they can make some pretty powerful things because of it. They are also quick. They're great hiders, which I think would make them a pain to play hide and seek with. And they do have a gift for climbing, which all of that combined tends to get them into trouble. There have even been rumors that they can just disappear and reappear in another place, which is pretty cool. These little men and women also believe that lies and pranks reveal a person's true nature, and love within their culture is an unbreakable bond, and as a result they will die for the people that they love and for their realm. The lucre plan, of course, make a lot of people I've talked to think of leprechauns, which I think is where some of the inspiration for them came from, at least. Immediately upon reading up on them, I thought of a friend's character who was kind of a devilish rogue that tends to be an information broker. That's the sort of thing that I could see easily being done with this race. Information brokers, thieves, tricksters, of course. Perhaps even something of a spy, or some sort of espionage would be cool. I really think that these guys will be a lot of fun, and I'm sure that there's going to be a ton of great RP with them, but those are just the things that come off the top of my head on reading of them. The Banshee are another very strange looking creature, and one that is sort of monstrous in appearance. They're like ghosts that linger in their world to help protect the people within their realm. They were born of terrible tragedies, and they express that through songs that they're able to wield powerfully as a weapon against their enemy or an aid for their friends. Their wish is to bring justice to the world and leave their enemies in despair. And though their powers are kind of hard to wield, they're far more difficult to face. So there's a character that I think may work fairly well with that. She was kind of crazy. Well, actually she was a lot crazy, but she was fun. I think I would have to tone her down a bit for this character, but overall I think she'd be a good fit. The reason is because well, no, maybe not her, but an alternate version of her. She sort of went crazy in the first place because of demonic influence, but she ended up slipping further into it after she kind of destroyed her household. So, she was fun. I think if I were to play a Banshee, that I would, like I was saying, I would flip the role a little bit. She would probably be the one who lived through it, not the one who caused it. And there probably wouldn't be any demonic influence in this game. But, I would tailor it to the lore if I were to use a character like that. So, I think there's a lot of room for this, just like there are for the Valkyries. I can come up with tragic backstory after tragic backstory. and pretty much all of them would fit. Yeah, yeah, depths and fluence would work as well. Thank you. And last but not least is a race that I, up until today, was not able to cover. City State updated their website, which I may need to fix that. No, I think it'll redirect you. But they updated their website and added a couple of races. The Fur Bog, I think is how it said. They are caretakers of the bogs and swamps and are a bit, well, they're giants, pretty much. Rumor says that there are secrets hidden within the moss and that they have a mental connection with all of the other caretakers. They are seers that watch for omens and any danger that may visit the realm. They're also wardens, and they're very wardens of the forest, and they're very secretive. They believe in preserving, I promise I can talk, the mysteries within their realm, and defending against any enemies that would visit them. Family is very strong with them, and they will defend theirs ferociously. I mentioned a priestess character of mine previously, and I think a lot of her personality quirks would also be a good fit for this race. Or a version of her at least. This was my blind troll priestess. She probably wouldn't still be blind. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, she was a seer, though her visions were few and far between and were hard to decipher. She was very defensive of those that she considered to be her people. That's what she called them, be it family or friends. And I think we'll see a lot of characters among this race that follow a similar trend. But I also really hope that we see a few that are not quite as adept as at the seer business as their kin are. I didn't say she was good. I just said she was. Now, that's all I have tonight for the realms and races, and this is the last installment of that. I'll likely be updating the videos for the other two as well to include the races that were added, the frost giants, the Jotnar, which are frost giants, and the golems. So I'll need to go back and update those so I can include them. And I really hope that you all enjoyed it.